The following BLTV program is brought to you by O'Flaherty Law. Please enjoy.
Welcome to Learn About Law. My name is Kevin O'Flaherty from O'Flaherty Law, and today we're going to explain how long a divorce takes in Illinois. We're going to start by talking about the difference between a contested divorce and an uncontested divorce. So in an uncontested divorce, both parties agree on all issues of child support, spousal maintenance, child custody, and division of assets and liabilities, basically from the outset. They agree how they want the divorce to go, and there's nothing to fight about, and they just need to finalize it. These can happen really quick. They take about 2 months to do an uncontested divorce. A contested divorce occurs when there's at least one issue that the parties don't agree on and aren't able to settle right off the bat. Now, these issues can still be settled later on through negotiation and possibly mediation, and that's what the court tries to do. They try to allow the parties space to settle these issues, but if these issues need to be settled or tried, then there's a period of written discovery, depositions, basically fact gathering in order to help the parties settle these issues or in order to provide each attorney with the ammunition they need to try the issues in court. And this can stretch out for anywhere from a year to 2 years before the divorce can be finalized. So to understand how this works, let's talk about the timeline of a divorce. First, there's some prerequisites that have to be true before you can even file for divorce. This is mostly dealing with jurisdictional issues. So before you can file for divorce in Illinois, at least one of the parties must have lived in Illinois for 90 days. There's some exceptions for the military, but this basically is a minimum to give Illinois jurisdiction over your divorce. If child custody is involved in the divorce, now called parenting time and responsibility, the child must have, any children that are affected must have lived in Illinois for at least 6 months. There's a requirement that the parties live separate and apart for 6 months prior to filing for divorce, although this can be waived if both parties agree. If it's a contested divorce and one of the parties won't waive this requirement, then you've got to live separate and apart for 6 months before filing. So that all happens before you even file for divorce. The next step is filing a divorce petition. This is basically the initiating document of a divorce, and it makes all sorts of basically allegations about the factual context of the divorce. This has to be served along with the summons personally, typically by sheriff or special process server upon your spouse. And it takes at a minimum about 3 weeks, but it can take several months longer if the sheriff isn't successful the first time they try to serve it. If they're not successful on first attempt, then you have to have the summons reissued, and then you might give it to a special process server, which is like a private detective who might be a little bit more efficient at serving the summons. But once the summons and the divorce petition are actually served on the other party, that party has 30 days to file a response to the petition. And then an initial court date will be held in which the court can kind of be apprised of the issues that are involved in the divorce. If there is negotiation required, or if there's a chance for negotiation, this is when those conversations start. If it doesn't look like the issues can be settled quickly, then the next thing that happens is written discovery, depositions, and we have articles and videos about what that's all about. But this can be a lengthy process where one side issues requests the other side for information, and they sometimes fight about whether the information was given in full. And this discovery process is what really stretches out the divorce. During this entire time, the parties should be trying to negotiate and settle. If they're not able to reach an agreement, then the next step is, once all the discovery is in, depositions have been conducted, the next step is scheduling a trial date to basically have each party present evidence and argument in order to have the court decide any issues that they weren't able to mutually agree upon. If the parties are able to settle all of the issues involved, then what will happen is a prove-up date at which the parties basically submit their marital settlement agreement that resolves all non-child related issues or non-parenting related issues, and then if there's kids involved, the joint parenting agreement that resolves how parenting time and responsibility is going to be allocated, and the court will put this into a final order, and at that point the divorce will be finalized. So divorces either end through settlement or through trial. The harder it is for people to settle, the longer this takes because it's a more prolonged discovery process, and there's a lot of issues that need to be temporarily resolved along the way through basically smaller court appearances that aren't the full-blown trial, and this is what extends a divorce. So to kind of conclude here, the length of the divorce is really dependent on the parties. It can be as quick as 2 months, sometimes even quicker, if the parties can come to an agreement. If the parties aren't able to come to an agreement, it depends on how hard the parties want to work to come to an agreement, how complex the issues are that are involved, and that goes into how much discovery is required, and then basically how much motion practice and how much fighting is going on during the course of the divorce that delays the actual resolution of the divorce. So it's really in the parties' hands, and that's easy to say, but it takes two to tango to resolve these issues. So sometimes you can be totally well-meaning and be negotiating in good faith, and your spouse is basically not willing to do so and trying to drag you through the dirt. So that's when a divorce gets extended. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a question in our comments section. We'll do our best to answer it as quickly as possible. Please subscribe to us on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube, and feel free to give us a call at 630-324-6666 if you'd like to schedule a free consultation. Thanks so much for listening.
Thanks so much for watching our video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Click the subscribe button for new videos every week, and download and review us on iTunes. Visit learn-about-law.com for other legal-related articles and videos. Visit our business podcast and video blog, seizeyourbusiness.com, and visit Making Real Estate Fun for real estate videos and podcasts. Call us at 630-324-6666 for a free consultation.